let's know about what's there in HVAC designing and drafting program, which will enable you to get the employment. We divide the overall HVAC designing and drafting curriculum into 3 segments. One is fundamentals, then is the calculation part, then we do the project work. The curriculum is divided as 50% as theory, 50% as practical. In fundamentals, we will be learning about modes of heat transfer, which would be conduction, convection, and radiation. Then we learn about the basic components in an air conditioning machine, which could be compressor, condenser, evaporator, expansion valve, other accessories. Apart from them, we also learn about different refrigerants and brine solutions. Then we learn about different types of air conditioning units which are available in the market. The first and the most known is the window air conditioning unit, which you can see here. These are the new models of window air conditioning. Then you can see about the split air conditioning units. Split air conditioning have an outdoor unit and an indoor unit. In split air conditioning, we have seen the outdoor and the indoor unit. We have another model called ductable split unit, wherein outdoor unit will be kept outside. Indoor unit will supply air via a duct to different spaces. We have another model which is called package unit, wherein all the components are fit in one unit. Only the duct is taken into the air conditioning space. The details will be told in the curriculum. Just now we have discussed about ductable and package. Now we talk about VRF, variable refrigerant flow, wherein we have one outdoor unit and multiple indoor units. The indoor unit model can also be different. It can be a wall mounted, it can be a floor mounted, it can be a ceiling mounted. There are different types of indoor units. In centralized air conditioning, what do we learn? We learn about different components used in the centralized air conditioning and why we use centralized air conditioning. I will answer you first why we use centralized air conditioning. Centralized air conditioning is used in areas where the air conditioning area is huge. Now coming on to the components of centralized air conditioning. So we have a chiller, we have air handling units, we have fine coil units, we have a network of duct system, we have a network of chilled water lines with pumps. So we learn in detail about how we are going to select these components by doing load calculations, which will come in the coming video. Now we talk about load calculations. Why we need to have load calculations? It is used for selection of equipment based on the estimated heat load. How does we calculate heat load? We do a survey of building. What is a survey of building? We try to understand the orientation of the building, like north, east, west, south, how the building is oriented. Once we understand the orientation of the building, then we go to the next level. What are the materials used in the building, like outside wall, inner walls, glass material, concrete or RCC. Once we list down these materials, we try to get the U factor. What is U factor? You will learn once you come here. Once you are done with U factor, we try to understand how to calculate the differential temperature. How is the outdoor temperature? How is the indoor temperature? All the values which we have extracted from the different tabular columns, which are in the handbooks of ISHRAE and ASHRAE, are to be put into the E20 form. And once you put it in E20 form, we get certain values, which will help you to decide on which type of equipment we need to use to do the air conditioning for that particular application. We have learned about load calculation. More precisely, estimated load value. Now, once we complete that part, we go into the air distribution system. What is air distribution system? As we have told in the initial video that we have an air handling unit. So, and we also have a chiller. From chiller, we get chilled water to the air handling unit. And heat transfer happens between the chilled water and the air passing through the air handling unit. So once the air handling unit is used to cool the air, it is distributed into the space, different rooms or different floors as per the design. Now, how is it distributed? It is distributed by using a network of ducts. So what is duct? Duct, in simple words, is a metal box. Okay, it will carry the air from one location to the other location. Now, when you are doing a design of duct, there are certain parameters which you know to design the duct. So we should know velocity, we should know the area to understand how to calculate the duct size. We teach you manual method of how to do a duct sizing. We also teach you how to extract the duct sizes from ISHRAE and ASHRAE handbooks. We also teach you how you can do duct sizing using a duct software. So once you design the duct network with the different sizes ducts, because in the starting the quantum of air is huge, as we go down the quantum of air will come down. How? Because in the initial stages you are going to send the air out of the duct system using air terminals like diffusers, grills, as been shown over here. Once the duct network is done, you need to understand how you are going to put the duct network onto the ceiling. So we need to understand what are the supports required, what are the rods required to support that particular duct network. Once you have done that, then the next thing comes in, because the duct is carrying cool air, you need to have an insulation onto the duct as shown in the image. So all these things have to be calculated. Once you may do the duct size, you may do the insulation sizing, everything is done, but when it has to be manufactured, you should be able to extract the number of sheets which are going to be required to make this duct network. Apart from number of sheets, you also should know what will be the gauge of the duct. So all these things we learn in air distribution system. So I have told you in the pictorial view about what is the air distribution system, but how will an engineer know on site that what is your thought about the duct network? So what we do, we make a single line diagram and get approval from the consultant and the architect. Then we convert that into a double line diagram. How do you do these things? We do it in AutoCAD, as well as if you are using a latest software, we can also do it in 3D. The latest softwares which are enabling us to use 3D is nothing but your Revit MEP. So we learned about the latest softwares to be used in making the drawings. One more most important point when you're doing air distribution system is the static pressure calculation. That is, with how much pressure you need to send the air from the air handling unit using the blower to different rooms. That calculation has to be done. So there is different methodologies used. All those methods will be taught to you in the curriculum. When you go for interviews, you get good number of questions on this particular topic. As we have known about air distribution system, we also need to learn about chilled water network, which comes between a chiller and the air handling unit. So we need to understand what should be the size of the pipe through which water is being supplied and water is going to be taken back to the chiller. We do a pipe size calculation. Apart from pipe size calculation, we also need to design the capacity of the pump through which the water, the chilled water, is going to be pumped from the chiller to the air handling unit. So this also we are going to learn in the hydronic system. We also teach you about different air conditioning concepts: district cooling system, green buildings, net zero concept, as well as kitchen ventilation. Now we have discussed about various topics which are to be covered in the HVAC designing and drafting module. Once you complete the theory and calculation part, we give you a project work. What is a project work? A project work is something which is already executed in a real-time world. We give you a civil drawing and we give you different parameters through which you will be able to recalculate the heat load, redesign the duct network, size the chill water system, and completely do the project as you do when you get a job. So it's very important for you to do this project work in the span of 15 days. Once you complete this project work, you are eligible for employment. So we will take you through a mock interview, technical and HR, which build a lot of confidence in you to attend the interviews. So once the interviews are scheduled, you get an SMS, you get a call, and once you are accepted, we will be sending you to the interview. So once the interview is completed, we also provide you the result, whether you have been selected or rejected. No worries if you have been rejected. Congratulations if you are selected. That's the way we take you forward. You may think, sir, what happens if I'm rejected? Don't worry about that. We will send you to the interviews again. But be cautious that you should prepare before going to the interviews. The overall curriculum, if you see, it has been very systematically designed as per the employer's need. And the whole curriculum has been approved by NSDC, National Skill Development Corporation, as well. So we look forward to see you via online or classroom model very soon. Thank you.